gorgeous day. This incredible, gorgeous weather streak continues. Get outside, enjoy this weather, drop some coals, light up the gas, get outside, enjoy your backyard. Dine outside if you can. That's a silver lining from the coronavirus pandemic. Outdoor dining in a lot of restaurants, it used to not exist. Lots of places you can dine outside, like Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn. They're open right now. They roll from 11 a.m. straight through till 9:30 at night. Some of the finest Middle Eastern food, outdoor dining too. Lebanon's Cafe open till 9:30. I was there yesterday with my brother and my mommy, enjoying some great Middle Eastern food at Lebanon's Cafe. Yeah, take in this gorgeous weather. Sunny 60s. Each morning when we wake up, this trend continues. And the high temperature right now, we're hitting at about 78, 79 degrees. I don't know if we're going to hit low 80s or 80 even today. Just a rinse and repeat for the foreseeable future, and it's been going on for over a week now. Absolutely gorgeous October weather in New Orleans, officially jettisoning the summer 6-month period. Now we're in that non-summer 6-month period. It doesn't get any better than this. Some of the best weather anywhere. We can enjoy it in New Orleans, in the metro area, along the Mississippi, Alabama, Gulf Coast, the Florida Panhandle. Gorgeous weather. Get outside and take advantage of it. The 10 Commandments are in a Louisiana court. New law, 10 Commandments must be displayed in every Louisiana public school classroom. Now, I was reading an article. There are over 1,300 public schools in Louisiana. 1,300. Think how many classrooms in each building. LSU has over 1,000 classrooms at their Baton Rouge campus alone. A federal judge, a U.S. district judge, will decide if the 10 Commandments can be legally displayed. Jeff Landry's response, the governor, it was kind of funny. Someone asked, I'm not Christian. My kid's going to sit in the class and have to look at that. He's like, don't look at it. Don't read it. Maybe don't display it. And I'm a 10 Commandments guy. I'm Christian. I'm Catholic. But why the 10 Commandments? We can talk about that. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. Hey, it could be worse. Could be Oklahoma. Have to use the Trump Bible. Literally the Trump Bible. The Colonel fielding your phone calls, 766-9480. 766-9480. We got a little countdown going today. 15 days, 2 weeks from tomorrow, Election Day 2024. Trump or Harris? Harris or Trump? America will elect a new president. The old one is calling it a day. Joe Biden will be president through January. And then either Donald Trump or Kamala Harris will take over. 15 days, 2 weeks from tomorrow, Election Day 2024. Election Day needs to be moved to a Saturday, huh? Or at the very least, put it like what was a few weeks ago, Columbus Day, which is so ironic. It's Columbus Day and Indigenous Native Americans Day. It's like, wow, the guy who came over and essentially was the first mover of getting rid of the Native Americans. It's the same day. We celebrate both the same day. It's crazy. Literally, Columbus Day and Indigenous Native Americans Day or something like that is the exact same day. No, put Election Day on that national holiday or move it to a Saturday. I mean, the key is you want more people voting, right? More citizens having the opportunity to vote that are legally registered to vote. You don't want to stifle the vote. You want to make it as easy as possible. So that's one countdown. 2 weeks from tomorrow, Election Day. Are you in that, I don't know, 10, 12% that are undecided as of right now? Maybe leaning one direction? 766-9480. Love to hear from you. The listening and viewing audience would love to hear from you. Most people are decided. Most people know exactly who they're voting for. 15 days till Election Day, 111 days until the Super Bowl. November 1st is the 100 days out. November 1st, All Saints Day, 100 days out. We've hosted our share of Super Bowls. This will be our 11th. Our 11th. In the early, days of the Super Bowl, we get one like almost every other year. I mean, we hosted 4 in the 70s, 2 in the 80s, 2 in the 90s, just 1 in the 2000s, 1 in the 2010s, and now we're going to get one in the 2020s. I mean, it used to be like every 2 years or so we were getting a Super Bowl. Then it kind of faded to like every 4 or so on average. Now it's about every decade plus, 10, 12, 13 years or so between Super Bowls. Norman Brayman, the old Philadelphia's owner from decades ago, he's like, the Super Bowl should be in New Orleans each and every year. I'm all for that. But that'll never happen. But it seems like a 5-year guarantee isn't out of the question. You put year 1 in Florida, year 2 in California. And in Florida, it could be Tampa or Miami. In California, it'd be San Fran or LA. Year 3 would be New Orleans. Year 4 would be those wild card cities that seem to get it a lot, like Dallas, Houston, Phoenix, Atlanta. And then year 5 could be those wild card cities, Dallas, Houston, Phoenix, Atlanta, and the team that builds a new stadium, the city that builds a new stadium. The NFL likes rewarding those new stadiums with a Super Bowl often. But if you do that plan, the Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, Phoenix, they're going to get the Super Bowl, once every 10, 12 years like New Orleans does now. But then New Orleans and South Florida and California, they're going to get it every 3 years guaranteed. Every 5 years guaranteed. Every 5 years guaranteed. I think that's a win-win-win for everybody. But the NFL is going to do it the way they want to do it. They're not interested in one old owner and where he thinks the game should be played. They're not interested in, hey, if it only had to be one city, what city would it be? They're not interested in that. They're interested in making a lot of money, and the way you make a lot of money is you get cities, municipalities to build new stadiums, upgrade existing ones, and spread it around. That's how we had a Super Bowl in New York in the Meadowlands. Thank God it wasn't 19 and sleeting. That would sort of ruin the Super Bowl. You don't want weather to play a part. Speaking of the Superdome, the Caesars Superdome, this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the corporal will be there for all 3 shows. It's Taylor Swift. He literally mortgaged his house. He had to buy him on the aftermarket. He dropped $47,000 for a pair of tickets for all 3 shows. I'm not really exaggerating too much. I think some woman got $36,000 for 6 tickets she paid about $400 a piece for.
That sounds about right.
So she got $6,000 off of a $400 investment. Absolutely crazy. Pelicans game 1 of 82 Wednesday. A lot of Saints fans, considering the Saints are 2-4, might be jumping on the Pelicans, bandwagon earlier than normal. Brett Martell will join us in the 5 o'clock powwow to discuss that, LSU, Tulane, all that good stuff. Hey, the 4 o'clock hour on this gorgeous Monday weather day, incredible weather, brought to you by Audubon Gutters. I don't know when I'm going to even be able to try out my Audubon Gutters. Installed at my house a few weeks ago, and I've had no rain yet. I got the leaf guard system. I'll literally never have to clean my gutters again. Audubon Gutters, over 30 years, since 1991. Why would you even consider going to anyone else but Audubon Gutters for your home? The Gulf South's largest, most experienced gutter installation company. No, in New Orleans, the metro area and beyond, it's easy. You need gutters for your home? Audubon Gutters. Taking care of you for 33 plus years. Audubon Gutters. 4 o'clock hour brought to you by Audubon Gutters this afternoon. Corey Johnson with you. A lot more coming your way. Don't move.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
I believe we have 2 Monday night games tonight. The World Series is set. Dodgers, Yankees. NBA cranking up this week, including the Pelicans on Wednesday at the Smoothie King Center. A lot of college football left. Have you been to legendary Tracy's on Magazine yet? If you're looking for a place to check out the Saints or LSU or Tulane or the Pelicans or the World Series or Premier League soccer, pick your poison, whichever sport you're looking to check out. Legendary's Tracy is back and bigger and better than ever. Tracy's on Magazine. New location. They're in between Washington and Louisiana. Magazine at Pleasant, essentially catty corner from that Bromart grocery. Magazine at Pleasant on the riverside of Magazine between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's. Too many big screen, flat screen TVs to count. They've got a huge one in the main viewing area, like a 120-inch monster. And it's a sports bar restaurant with food you actually want to eat. Not like an excuse where, well, we concede the food because we're checking out the game and we'll eat some greasy, crappy bar food. No, Katie's has a full kitchen featuring one of the best roast beef po' boys in the city, literally. And boy, just endless beer, wine, liquor, alcohol, whatever you want. They've got the brand names you like. A deep, deep inventory. They're on 2 floors now. 2-story building. They've got a huge balcony. Enjoy this gorgeous weather. Out on the balcony on Magazine. Legendary Tracy's new location. Magazine at Pleasant. The perfect place to check out the home teams. The perfect place to check out the World Series, Yankees and Dodgers. A lot of folks are going to be interested in that just because it's, as big as it gets as far as baseball. Election Day 2024, America will have a new president in 15 days. Well, not in 15, in January officially, but we'll know the results in 15 days. Love to hear from you, especially the undecided voter or someone who just, hey, I'm voting for Trump. I'm voting for Harris. Here's why. 766-9480. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480. I've got a few $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. You've got this Taylor Swift tour, 3 sold-out shows Friday, Saturday, Sunday night this week at the Caesars Superdome. Largest concert ever, largest concert crowd in the Dome ever. Corey, had to be the day of rock and roll, 1979, bro. Fog had Van Halen, dude. Heart. Largest concert crowd in Caesars Superdome history. Give me the answer to that, and I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 2 Woodhouse Day Spa locations on the South Shore. 2 Woodhouse Day Spa locations on the North Shore by the Mall of Louisiana in Baton Rouge. By the way, that largest concert crowd in Superdome history, one time was the largest indoor concert crowd in the world for, I think, a few decades before that record was finally broken. Largest amount of tickets sold for one artist or band. Largest amount of tickets sold for one artist or band at the Caesars Superdome. Give me the answer to that. I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480. The new Caesars Casino and more. $400+ million, a new hotel. Where was the first New Orleans land-based casino? Where was the location of New Orleans' first land-based casino? This is going back over 30 years. Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks can be yours at the Woodhouse Day Spa. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. You can email us like Juiced Up Jimmy in Lafayette. This is a strange puppy over there in Cajun country on Bayou Teche. Juiced Up Jimmy is a frequent watcher of the program who admits he's on steroids, hits the gym and uses illegal steroids for years. If you go to our website, CoreyTalks.com, you don't have to go to the website actually to email. It's Corey@CoreyTalks.com is how you can email us. That's how Juiced Up Jimmy emailed us. And it is literally a photo of me, Corporal. Come on. You pull that dingy shirt out of the clothes hamper. That's what, and it's got a close up of basically my face, this mic, and this shirt. This shirt is not dingy and it's clean and it isn't out of the clothes hamper. Come on, you pull that dingy shirt out of the clothes hamper. I will admit, Corporal, it's not white and it's not tan or gray. It's sort of a, I don't know, would it be a dingy color? Maybe that's how it looks on TV. It's a clean shirt. The Gain. Oh, I'm going to hug myself. It's Gain. It's not actually Gain. Those commercials are good, though. I'm going to have to try out the Gain. Come on. You pull that dingy shirt out of the clothes hamper. Thank you, Juiced Up Jimmy. The steroids are turning your brain to mush, Jimmy in Lafayette. He emailed us with that silliness, Corey@CoreyTalks.com. Corey spelled Kaare. Yeah, who are you voting for in 15 days for president? And why? And you 8-10% that are undecided still at this point, which way are you leaning? 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. You can dial us up if you're checking us out on the radio, on television, on YouTube, on this gorgeous Monday afternoon. Largest concert crowd in Caesars Superdome history, 766-9480. Largest amount of tickets sold for one artist or band in Caesars Superdome history, 766-9480. The new Caesars with the hotel and all the entertainment venues. Where was the first land-based casino in New Orleans over 30 years ago? Where was the first land-based casino? Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spas can be yours. 766-9480. 766-9480. Wow. You saw the Donald at the McDonald's window over the weekend? Went to a McDonald's, said, I know Kamala Harris never worked here, even though she said she did. I'm going to prove that I worked here. You got a job? And they put him at the drive-up window. Some people say it was totally pranked, that it was set up, Trump people driving through, Secret Service blocking off anybody going in the McDonald's. It was all a stunt. Other people say it was just, no, Trump walking up, the manager being overwhelmed. I'll put you at the drive-through. Gave him a little apron, and he was handing out Big Macs. Trump does like his McDonald's, that's for sure. 111 days until the Super Bowl. Boy, in the 70s, the 70 game, the 72 game, the 75 game, the 78 game, it was like almost every other year we were having a Super Bowl. Then it slowed down a little bit, only 2 in the 80s, 81 and 86. And then only 2 in the 90s, 90 and 97. But still a pretty good, run there from 70 to 97, 8 Super Bowls, and only 2 since 97, the 2002 game and the 2013 game. I mean, really from 70 to 2002, it wasn't that bad. But then after that, the gaps got pretty big. I mean, in between the 70 and 72 game, 1 year. In between the 72 and 75 game, a 2-year gap. In between the 75 and 78 game, a 2-year gap. In between the 78 and 81 game, a 2-year gap. In between the 81 and 86 game, a 4-year gap. But then between 86 and 90, just a 3-year gap. Then it stretched to 6 between the 90 and the 97 game, but back to 4 for the 97 to 2002 game. And then this is where the bottom fell out. A 10-year gap between the 2002 and 2013 game. And then an 11-year gap between the 2013 game and this year's game. And when I say gap, that many Super Bowls played in between. Just not cool. 4 in the 70s, 2 in the 80s, 2 in the 90s. So, and then it just one like every decade or so now. Used to get the damn game every 2, 3, 4 years. Now it's like every 12, 13, 14 years. Spreading it out, sending it all over the place. Hopefully the NFL, there's cities that are just eliminated. Like they're not going back to New York. They're not going to Minneapolis. Not going to Indianapolis. Maybe we'll start seeing more Super Bowls more frequently in New Orleans. Hey, in New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, this glorious weather, it's time to paint. Your crew can knock it all out. All they got to do, take advantage of the weather and go to Helm Paint and Decorating. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, do it once, do it right. They'll steer you in the right direction. Free 2-hour delivery, high quality Benjamin Moore paint. It truly is a no-brainer. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, when it's time to paint, Helm Paint and Decorating. Yes, now in Tiger Town.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-hit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved old Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, quality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's, Mid-City.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on. We'll meet our competitor prices on any identical product. Helm right direction.
Helm Paint.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LaBarre by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Yeah, from what I understand, Taylor Swift tickets are going for thousands and thousands of dollars. Like one woman in New Orleans had 6 tickets, paid about 400 and something bucks a crack, sold them for $6,000 each. She's taking the kids to Europe instead of the Taylor Swift concert. That's a no-brainer, huh? Rouse's Market's phone lines are open. 766-9480. We head to the Best Bank. Marrera. David joins us on the program. What's up, David?
Hey, Corey, how you doing? I think I might have to answer your question about the casino, but I'd like to ask what you think about that deal with Gretna where they set up a nonprofit so they can build things and they don't even have to put it out for public bid.
You're talking about that brew pub?
Yep.
Yeah, that's Jefferson Parish fading over into the town of Gretna there. Yeah, I had the Inspector General on from Jefferson Parish, Kim Chatelaine, a few weeks ago.
Right.
Very much opposed to it. Didn't think that the process was transparent. And the council in Jefferson, 2 things. They're very much for it, the vast majority of them. And they want to take away some power, apparently, from Kim Chatelaine, who already has limited power, especially when you compare apples to apples, the Jefferson Parish Office of Inspector General to the City of New Orleans Office of Inspector General. That the New Orleans office is actually legit. And no offense to Kim Chatelaine, it's beyond her control. The Jefferson office is weak. It's set up where politics can manipulate that office. Politicians can manipulate that office. And that's exactly what's going on. What was the problem, David, with slowing down the roll on that just a little bit? Like, let's reevaluate before this, ribbon cutting that was so important a week ago Friday. I don't get why they couldn't slow it down a little, but politics in Jefferson, as ugly as New Orleans, because it's New Orleanians that cross the 17th Street Canal and form Jefferson Parish. So why would we expect any different? Louisiana politics.
What's really interesting is that, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What's really interesting is there was 2 different nonprofits set up. There was Jefferson Redevelopment and then Jefferson Facilities. Jefferson Redevelopment, the president of the attorney for Jefferson Redevelopment is Tom Wilkerson. That's the one from when Broussard was in office. He was convicted, a convicted felon, and they got him attorney for this nonprofit that they give the money to Jefferson Facilities where Arthur Lawson is involved with it. How is that possible?
Wow, those are good points, David. I'm going to have to check into all that. You bring up some good points.
It's just incredible. And then there's another guy by the name of William Lazaro, who's the president of Jefferson Facilities, who's going to build a facility that he's got one of those apartments in the French Quarter where Cantrell was at.
Oh, boy.
How did he get to be president? And then Ricky Templett's son, Ricky Templett, has the nerve to say that he put his son on that board for Jefferson Facilities because there's only 17,000 people in Gretna to vote from. And so they wanted somebody that had Gretna's best effort.
Wow.
So he put his son in there.
Yep. What was I saying? Typical Louisiana politics.
Right. Okay, Corey, let me see if that. I don't know exactly which street it was, but I remember passing on the interstate going east, right around Claiborne and St. Claude there. There was a casino off to the right side there.
Claiborne and St. Claude?
Around either one of those streets, Claiborne or St. Claude.
Wow. Now, I remember like way back in the day, you had that Las Vegas strip on Claiborne where that, I forgot the guy's name. He literally had about 6 or 8 buildings in a row. He started as like a hotel operator on Claiborne and then bought up these other buildings, had like a restaurant, a music club, and it was something Las Vegas Strip, but there was no gambling going on there. So, David, I'm going to have to say you're incorrect.
Yeah, you wrong.
Thank you very much for hearing me out.
Oh, no. Thank you very much for the call. That was great stuff.
Right. Oh, guess who's living in Gretna now?
Who's that?
John Ilario.
Ah, 90-year-old John Ilario with his
on Huey Long Avenue with Edward Edwards' wife.
Yep, with Edwin Edwards' old wife. Yep, what a crazy world. People are nuts.
Thank you, Corey.
Yeah, you're right, David. Thanks. John Ilario is just, I saw him walking into a Metairie restaurant about 6 months ago. He's getting old, like everybody. He's old and he's slowed down, and then his wife's like 50, and it is Edwin Edwards' former wife. And the Edwin Edwards story is great. This girl, I forget her name, was dating some dude in Alexandria, lived in Alexandria from what I understand. And the guy was older by 30, 40 years, like an old man with a younger girl, that kind of thing, but not like 15, 20 years, like 40 or 50-year age difference, literally. And for some reason, when she was dating the old guy in Alexandria, she was like writing letters to Edwin Edwards in jail and actually went and visited him a few times. And maybe not even with the old man in Alexandria knowing it, being aware of it. But the old man in Alexandria and Edwin Edwards had a relationship. They were like, quote, friends or acquaintances at least. And reportedly, like a week or two before Edwin Edwards got out of jail, he wrote a letter to the guy in Alexandria. Hey, Jimmy, it's Edwin Edwards. Look, by the way, Brenda's with me now. And supposedly the guy in Alexandria was like, fantastic, great. Probably got tired of, paying the bills or something. Who knows? But reportedly had no problem with it. From the stories I've heard, was like, fantastic. You can take her. She's yours. So then Edwin Edwards marries her, and Edwin Edwards dies, and she becomes a widow, and she hooks up with John Ilario now. Yeah, I don't get it, But I'm not female, and, I'd like to date a younger woman. I pretty much my whole life dated younger women. I was married to a younger woman than me. But like 30, 40 years, it would just be ridiculous. It's like, how much could you actually have in common? It'd be very, very difficult for that big of an age gap to just get along. But anyway, to each his own. It's America. Do whatever you're over 18. You're alive. You can pretty much get married to whoever you like. It is a strange scenario, though. David Marrero with all kind of information. Yeah, John Ilario is, I think, a lifetime West Banker, but was over like Avondale, West Wego area, I believe. Now, according to David and Marrero, living in Gretna. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. John Ilario's got like 45 years in public service and really has nothing to show for it. Nothing. Except naming the Ilario Center after his dad. And I don't want to say his do-nothing dad, but who's John Ilario's dad? Seriously. You name it after like some Gulf War veteran that died fighting for us that lived in Avondale at Marrero. That's who you name it after, not John Ilario's average dad. He's just like the average guy. I mean, he's like a coach some youth leagues or something. I mean, what did he do? Seriously, what could the plaque actually say about John Ilario's dad? Grew up in these parts, was a nice guy. Everybody liked him. He's like this. It's just so silly. It's like the Heitmeyer brothers. They never built the soccer stadium in Algiers, but there was like a $12-14 million soccer stadium that was supposed to be built, and it was going to be named after Heitmeyer's dad. They saw what a John Ilario did. It's like, you with your child, you're driving around the city. Dad, what's Gallier Hall? Who's Gallier? Well, son, he was a prominent architect, and he actually designed that old City Hall building and a few other buildings. A famed architect. Okay. Dad, Claiborne. Who's Claiborne? C.C. Claiborne. He was the first, U.S. governor of the state of Louisiana when it became a U.S., state. Okay. Dad, who's Ilario? A nobody, son. Some political hack that put his dad's name on the building. Just ridiculous. Now, there's two things that need to be taken care of in the future. One is the Senate wing, I believe, at the Capitol is the John Ilario Hall, named after the living John Ilario. And the Ilario Center, it needs to be named after somebody that gave their life for us from Avondale or Westwego, not just the painfully average do-nothing dad. I'm not saying John Ilario's dad was like, a deviant like John Ilario is, a political deviant. For all I know, his dad wasn't in politics at all. But never have heard a story, know nothing about him. It's a joke. It's like the Heitmeyer's dad. They just naming it because they can. They love their dad. The painfully average guy that really didn't do a whole lot to get a public building named after him. No, it would be hard to explain that to your kids. That's all you could say. Oh, that was John Ilario's son. He was some powerful politician. Edwin Edwards, the criminal, was his mentor. And because he had some political sway, named this public building after his father, who nobody knows what his dad did. But we do know he didn't deserve a public building named after him. No, it's comical. Painfully comical, and not in a good way. Corey Johnson with you every day. This show on radio, television, on YouTube, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex, Lamarck Ford, Lamarck Lincoln in Kenner, the Car Corner, Williams Boulevard and I-10 in Kenner, and now Lamarck Crescent City Ford, the legendary Ford truck dealership for over 80 years on Jefferson Highway. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner, and now Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood, Jefferson Highway.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our Top Bench and More exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Yeah, you right. That sounds like some meters to me. Art Neville on that organ. Leo Nocentelli. George Porter on the bass. Wow. Yeah, you right. Monday afternoon, gorgeous weather. Get outside and enjoy it. Do some grilling tonight, or go dine outside, because the weather is it's simply too nice to avoid. Hey, I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Yeah, you're right. Largest concert crowd in Caesars Superdome history. By the way, it was the largest indoor concert in the world for like 20 years or so, held that mark. Largest amount of tickets sold at the Caesars Superdome for one artist or one band. Largest amount of tickets sold. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480. You got the answer? I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Hey, the new Caesars Casino, Hotel, and More entertainment venue, Fulton Street. Where was the first New Orleans land-based casino over 30 years ago, before they moved into that Rivergate site? Had to tear down the Rivergate, had to build the casino from the ground up. Where was the first New Orleans land-based casino 30 plus years ago? Give me the answer to that. I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 2 on the South Shore, 2 on the North Shore in Baton Rouge. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. The Pelicans game 1 of 82. Wednesday, the regular season opener, the Bulls at the Smoothie King Center. Then it's Friday at Portland, Sunday at Portland, next Wednesday at Golden State, and then to start November, 4 straight at the Smoothie King Center in like 6 days. Brett Martell will join us in the 5 o'clock powwow to discuss that. Plus number 8 LSU. The Tigers are 6-1 now. At number 14 Texas A&M. The Aggies 6-1. Something's got to give. These teams are atop the SEC. Actually, Texas A&M, they're 4-0 in SEC play. LSU's 3-0. The only 2 undefeated teams in the 16-team SEC. It's crazy. Not Texas, not Georgia, not Alabama. It's LSU and Texas A&M atop the SEC. The winner will be in first place all by themselves. Tulane at North Texas Saturday morning. Another 11 a.m. Saturday morning game for the Wave. Both teams are 5-2. And then the Saints at the Chargers Sunday afternoon. Just 10 games left. Just 10 games left. Brett Martell, 5 o'clock powwow. About 40 minutes away. Brett will join us on the bottom half of the 5 o'clock powwow on this gorgeous Monday and get us straight on all that good stuff. Let's head to the phone lines from David and Marrera on the Best Bank to Jerome in New Orleans. What up, Jerome?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Going well. How about with you?
All right. I'm fine.
How about this weather, Jerome?
Yes, it's perfect.
It is. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's about 62, 63 in the morning, kind of cool and comfortable. And then it, warms on up to what we got now, like 78, 79. I mean, it's like outside air conditioning all the time. Pretty sweet.
Yep.
Hey, Jerome, in 15 days, there is an election. You know who you're voting for president?
Still, it's going to be close either way it goes, It's just a difficult thing, I know we only got less than 20 days to go. Still kind of debating.
15 days, 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you this, Jerome, for whatever it's worth. I mean, I'm not trying to downplay your vote or mine or anyone. But as sure as California is going to vote for Harris, Louisiana is going to vote for Trump. And there's no way out of that. It's going to be 65, 70% voting for Trump in Louisiana. I think last election, only Oklahoma had a larger percentage of voters voting for Trump than Louisiana. So Louisiana's Trump country, like California is Harris country. And then you throw in the Electoral College. And again, I'm not trying to downplay your vote. I'm going to go vote. But if you're a Trump supporter, you pretty much got Louisiana in the bag. If you're a Harris supporter, there's really no chance of her taking Louisiana. But whatever, still got to go vote.
Right.
You're honestly undecided at this point?
I'm, yes, Jerome Alexander, please. Yeah, just June 1st, 1960.
Well, we get too much info, Jerome.
I'm picking up prescriptions.
Yep. They're going to ask for your address next. Yeah, we lowered you so you can tell her the address, Jerome. We don't want your address. We already got your full name and your birthday. Next, all you got to do is throw out the social.
Yeah. Oh, no.
You're at the Walgreens drive-through?
Yeah, on the West Bank. Yeah, the goal.
There it is.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, Jerome?
Well, I just wanted to answer that question earlier about the first land-based Harrah's Casino. The location. I had the Municipal Auditorium building.
The old Municipal Auditorium?
Yeah.
Huh. That is correct.
Yeah, that was the first.
Yeah, you're right.
Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
I remember when they opened it, a lot of fanfare, media there, and it just flopped in that location. It did not do well at all.
Yeah. It was one of those ones they played it up. There was a lot of advertisement and stuff, but like you said, it just looked like it was it was kind of like a flop,
Yep, that first night, a lot of dignitaries, politicos, all that crap, and then it kind of faded out. Uh-oh, Jerome, that's Blue Boy telling me it's almost 5 o'clock. Hang on, all right?
You're on the neutral ground.
That's Jerome in New Orleans. Don't go anywhere, Jerome.
Spectrum Channel 333.
Also, your prescription is ready.
On radio at NOLA Talk, 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your color so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paints covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a vibrant color at homepaint.com.
Help paint, help paint. You're right. Help paint. And supply.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans. Lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from Japan and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, unique as you.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations. Family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday. Corporal, we're always a little behind on TV. Check out the bicep tonight, jiggling around. Cool, man. What's this thing? It's supposed to be a lot firmer. It's does he have wiggle? I don't like that. It's supposed to be a little tighter, isn't it? It's all this gym work. We're going to have to talk with Bradley on Thursday from Stacked and find out what's the deal. All these nutritional supplements I'm taking at Smoothie King. What the hell? Guess I got to work harder.
The grind never stops.
I went to a green kettlebell today, which is pretty meaningless to everyone. I was on purple, which should just tell you right there, you know, the purple one's going to be lighter. I went to green today. Bradley was like, Corey, green kettlebell. Like, oh. Anyway, you know, it's a bummer. Still coming in last over there, Corporal. Just can't get ahead of the rest of the group, man. They just kick my butt and take names every time I go in there. I'm pretty much last finishing the routine. Sometimes it spills over into the next class. Like they're taking the floor and I have to go over like in a corner of the gym and finish the routine. And that's if I'm capable of finishing the routine. Sometimes I'm just totally worn out. Anyway, Bradley Schneller, owner of Stacked Gym, Stacked Coaching, Arnold at River Road, right by the River Shack, ironically. A little bit past Oshner, heading towards Harahan. Now, I've been going there for a few months. Fantastic place. Everybody's on the same page. But I'm telling you, it's a good thing it's a group workout, Corporal, because I'd quit 15, 20 minutes in by myself. I'm panting and I'm sweating. I'm leaking oil right now. I'm done.
Oh, yeah. I definitely have those. My teammates shame me into going through the end of the workout.
Yeah, it kind of helps. I mean, even if they're not shaming you, you're like, what am I going to do? To sell these people out and just quit in the middle?
Exactly. Like that's the worst feeling. Quitting on yourself is one thing. Quitting on other people just makes you feel dirty.
I read a great quote one night. And it was like, you know, when you're struggling, keep pushing so you can feel what it's like to, you know, to win, like when you've pushed through that adversity. And it didn't work when I was dealing with the adversity so much. I was like, I am pushing. I'm worn out. I feel that right now. Now, my biggest problem, I swear, I got to get my mind right with running. Running is just hard for me. All I think about is my legs hurt. I'm winded. I'm tired. When does this end? I can't settle into the run. I've had trouble settling into the run. So I'm going to my doctor and he's giving me Ritalin, Adderall. And I'm joking. I've never taken Ritalin or Adderall in my life. Never. But I know they're like focus drugs.
If you crush it up and snort it, it'll give you the big
wow.
boost.
That's great. Good to know. Thank you, Corporal. Now, I know this guy who literally is like 75 and he's a pretty good golfer. And supposedly he takes like an Adderall or something, goes to the driving range and he can hit like 300 8-irons in a row, like 300, you know, which is just like impossible for any normal human being. You're after 10 or 20 in a row, you're like, okay, move on to another club or call it a day or whatever. He's just focused in 300 of them. Anyway, America and its drug problem. What a gorgeous weather afternoon in New Orleans. This incredible streak we have continues. I mean, we've had about 10 days or more, almost 2 weeks of just gorgeous weather, and it continues. I mean, today I'm like, it's not hot at all. But I was like, boy, my plants have to be thirsty. May have to run a sprinkler because there's no rain in sight. If it were like July or August, a lot of plants would be wilting right now from the heat. But we have just fantastic weather. We wake up every day and it's in the 60s, low 60s too. And then each afternoon it creeps up to like right now, about 78, 79 degrees. Lots of 60s, lots of 70s, lower than normal humidity, blue skies mostly, no sight of rain for the previous 2 weeks, no sight of rain for the next week, 10 days. Enjoy this weather. Get outside and enjoy it. Head over to the Rouse's, grab some steak, some ribs, some chicken, some seafood, something. Do some grilling tonight. Drop the coals, light up the gas. Rouse's has everything you need. No, just gorgeous weather. 60s in the AM, high 70s in the afternoon. Rinse and repeat over and over again. What a glorious October we've had so far. One of the best in recent memory. And yes, it is beyond official. We got 2 seasons, the summer season and the non-summer season. We have jettisoned the summer season. We got 5.5 months of non-summer in front of us. What a week we have in front of us. Taylor Swift, 3 sold-out shows at the Caesars Superdome this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. Now, ticket prices are absolutely insane, but that's to any concert, any artist, anywhere, basically. So I'm not going to sit and go, Taylor Swift earns her money. But I will say 2 things about Taylor Swift. The set list is over 3 hours each show. So she's going to put on about 10 hours of music over this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. North of 3 hours each concert, which is pretty impressive. Also, Taylor Swift can actually play musical instruments. She can play the piano and guitar and other instruments. Google Jay-Z with a guitar strapped around his neck. It'd be Corey Johnson with a guitar strapped around his neck. It'd be like me having a guitar right now, pretending to play it. Jay-Z is, I don't even think the guitar is hooked up, but he's got this guitar strung over him. It looks awkward on him. It looks like he's picked and played on a guitar like 20 times in his life. But there's Jay-Z with the guitar strapped over him, I guess trying to sell to the audience that, hey, I'm a musician. I can play a musical instrument, which he cannot. It's like Kanye West cannot play a musical instrument. Nothing. Not even like the digital drums. Nothing. Just a different world. Just a different world. I grew up where bands and musicians played musical instruments. And to be really proficient, to be, excellent at it, that just hours and hours of practice and dedication to that musical instrument. In a lot of cases, like you've been playing it since you were a kid. Taylor Swift can play musical instruments. So that's sort of something she's got going. Each show over 3 hours. No, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the Superdome, the whole area. They're expecting like 150,000 people in town for this concert. It's not just New Orleanians. 3 shows, 60,000 tickets each show. It is a regional deal. There are folks coming in from Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, from the region even farther. Ten Commandments in a Louisiana court today. I wonder if they've, I don't see any news that they've settled this, but a federal judge, U.S. District Judge, will handle the case. Essentially, there's a new law. 10 Commandments must be displayed in every Louisiana public school classroom. I think there are 1,300 public schools in Louisiana. So multiply times the classrooms. What do they average? 10, 20 classrooms each, the 1,300. So you're looking at, 10, 20, 30,000 classrooms. LSU, the Baton Rouge campus, has over 1,000 classrooms. LSU, my alma mater, Baton Rouge campus, has over 1,000 classrooms. It makes sense. They've got about 36,000 students, largest enrollment in their history right now. The taxpayers of Louisiana aren't paying for these 8 by 11 inch signs with the 10 commandments. It is all private money, even though it is a public law. But some parents of kids and even some religious organizations have sued to stop the law, which makes sense. Why the 10 commandments? Why not, something from the Quran or from the Buddhist religion or any other religion? Why Christianity? Why Christianity? I love this narrative of America was founded as a Christian country. No, it was kind of the opposite, running from Christianity in Europe, in England.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. Get Audubon Gutters.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, is hiring. What a company. Google Latrim and look up this company. Better yet, just go to their website, latrim.com, and learn about them. If New Orleans had a dozen or so Latrims, we'd be Austin or Charlotte or Nashville. We'd be booming. Latrim has 1,400 plus employees in Elmwood. They have about 100 acres in Elmwood that make up the Latrim campus. They're on the North Shore off of I-12. So you North Shore folks, you're interested in a gig at Latrim, you don't have to traverse the lake every day. Go to their website for a full listing of positions available, latrim.com. Latrim is spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, latrim.com, an incredible New Orleans owned, operated, based, founded company. Still here in New Orleans. Did about $1 billion in business last year, $1 billion plus. Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Absolutely gorgeous day. I know I keep mentioning the weather. It's incredible. It's been this way for like the last 2 weeks. We've got another week to 10 days of it. Waking up in the 60s, might get to like where it is right now, 78, 79. Perfecto, blue skies, even a little breeze. It's not hot. It's not humid. It's incredible. Get outside and enjoy the weather. Go to a Rouse's on the way home. Pick up some supplies. Do some grilling. Yeah, the 10 Commandments, that's my moral compass, especially like 4 through 10. I'm not into the first 3 all that much. I don't think Jesus or God, my Jesus or God, would be into the first 3. It's all about Jesus and God. But the rest, I think, are totally legit. I just don't think they should be in every public school classroom. I think it's ridiculous. It's so obvious. It's mind-blowing to me that anyone would be pushing that narrative. Could you imagine if it was like some, we had a Muslim senator or Muslim governor that wanted to put some ethical statements, some, high integrity, moral stuff, some kind of code from the Quran. People would freak out, and it would be good stuff, just like the 10 Commandments. It's good stuff. It's good things to live by. But this is Louisiana. Christianity isn't the, set religion by law. I remember a couple of cases that popped up. The Slidell courthouse, they put a Jesus Christ picture on the wall of the courthouse. A judge ruled either take it down or let everyone put their picture up. And supposedly that wall now has like 40, 50, 100 photos on it. All kind of different stuff. No, it should have been like, remove it. The state capitol, they're going to put a 10 Commandments monument on the state capitol grounds. Right away, 2 groups came in with their own monument. They want the same amount of space. They want equal space, and they want to put their monument. One was some devil-worshiping group out of like the Carolinas, either North or South Carolina. And it was literally Lucifer with the tail and the horns and everything. The devil with like little Sally and Jimmy on the devil's lap, and the devil's reading these kids a book. Literally, just look like a couple of kids from Americana sitting on Lucifer's lap, getting read a book. And then the other one was the spaghetti monster religion, which is no religion at all, but they're just like, hey, we're going to make one up called the spaghetti monster religion. And the stuff y'all talk about in your religion, we're going to match it with our craziness too. And we want a display on public property. So that bill just got nixed quickly. And this 10 Commandments bill, Governor Jeff Landry wins regardless. When I get him on the program, I'll ask him about it. You can't lose. Because you're going to lose. It won't be on the classroom's wall. It will be inevitably proven unconstitutional. It is unconstitutional. It's obvious. But Governor Landrieu was the guy pushing for it. So all the, evangelical types, they're going to be like, that's our guy, went to bat for us, tried to get the 10 Commandments on the classroom wall. And the part about unconstitutional just goes right over these people's heads. All they're concerned about is the 10 Commandments, their religious belief and how it's such a great thing. And it goes beyond their religion. And again, I'm a Christian. I'm a Catholic. The 10 Commandments are my thing too. Just not in a public classroom because it's unconstitutional. Separation of church and state. It's pretty simple. It's pretty obvious. And then the fluke that, all appeals are exhausted and Louisiana can display the 10 Commandments legally. It's a huge win. That's a 1 out of 1,000. Like not even a 1 out of 100, like a 1 out of 1,000. I don't care if the judges are conservative, if they're appointed by whatever Republican. The Constitution is king. This will eventually, if it even gets any traction, will be nixed in some kind of appeal. But I think this judge, John W. DeGravelis, this federal judge, U.S. District Judge out of Baton Rouge, I don't see how he can rule that the 10 Commandments can legally be put up in Louisiana classrooms unless he allows all religious doctrine to be put up in Louisiana's public school classrooms. And we can go beyond religion. Corey's ethical code, Corey's moral code, whatever. Billy Bob's, 10 points of high integrity, whatever. It's got to be everybody or none. That's what makes America great. This is a perfect example. I'm for freedom of speech, right to protest. You just can't break the law when you protest. I'm for David Dork and his Nazi group of clowns to have the right to protest when I am 110% against their message. Not one inkling of their message I care about. But that's what's great about America, this balance. This balance. And there's a balance of not allowing the 10 Commandments in the public classrooms because it's a religious belief. I mean, can you imagine if you're not Christian, if you're Jewish or Muslim or any other religion, you have to stare at this all the time? And then Jeff Landrieu's response, just ignore it, don't read it, doesn't work. That's not a good legal response. Let's head to the phone lines. Rouse's Markets phone lines. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Did you say Andrew in Slidell? What's up, Andrew?
What's the word, KJ?
How you doing, man?
Oh, we still don't have an IG over here, so not good. But other than that, doing all right.
Yeah, St. Tammany definitely could use one. 250,000 plus folks, very affluent parish, a lot of road projects going on, public road projects and all kind of other things, drainage. You want a CPA type scrutinizing that North Shore taxpayer money, where it's going. I'm kind of stymied that there isn't an IG in St. Tammany yet.
Well, they were the last time it had serious traction. Brister shut it. Parish President Brister shut it down.
Yeah, and AG Crow as well.
Yep, him too.
I remember the three options. It was like an IG, a CPA, or just like have some things audited. And I don't think they went with any of the options.
I just don't understand why anyone, and I don't understand why anyone would be against it. It blows my mind. But
I think most folks have no idea what it is and what it does, Andrew. And I think if they knew what it was, what it does, that you're 100% right. They'd be like, why would I not want someone scrutinizing taxpayer money and how it's spent? They're going to find waste. They're going to find just inefficiency, and that'll pay for the office every year indefinitely. And then they're going to find corruption and politicians and even private citizens with a contract scamming the taxpayers.
Yeah. Anyone who knows what it is and chooses to be against it the only thing I can think of is you've got nefarious intent.
Yep. I think that's well said, Andrew. I think that's why A.G. Crow was against it. You know, he likes politics as usual. He doesn't want some scrutinization. Look at Jefferson Parish. They're pushing this brew pub. Maybe Kim Chatelain should have done some interviews before releasing this letter, but I think the principal points of her letter are accurate, and at the very least, they should have delayed this brew pub thing, but the politicians in Jefferson, they're hell-bent on the brew pub happening, and they want to take away some of Kim Chatelain's power. And it's already a sketchy, kind of flaky office, the way it's set up. So not good in Jefferson Parish, and they've got an office.
I don't understand I don't know. Maybe I'm just too damn naive, but just can imagine, hey, you're sniffing something around something, please go look, make sure everything is above board. I just don't understand it, but I don't know.
I think there are people like you and I, Andrew, that are, actively involved in what's going on. And it's a small percentage of citizens. I think most just choose to look the other way. And then I think equal to us is a number of people that are into nefarious stuff. They've got contracts. They run for office. Their friends are politicians. They benefit from politicians or just live vicariously through it. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely broken people that don't want this, especially in a parish like St. Tammany where so much public money is being spent.
Yeah, and I got friends of mine that poo-poo on the South Shore. Like, oh, look, they're going to indict another elected official. I'm like, dude, the last sheriff we had got, sent to jail for being a child molester. And then we've had Eddie Price and Mandeville go to jail. I mean, we've got our fair share over here. So it's no, all of my friends that try to, snub their nose at the South Shore.
No, I mean, Walter Reed, the number one law enforcement official in St. Tammany, just a Edwin Edwards scumbag type, a Bill Jefferson type,
Galvin, the coroner, who's getting free tax, getting double dipping with annual leave and billing the taxpayers while he's in Europe. Like, I wish I could have that gig, man.
No, exactly. No, these people have no shame, man. They really don't. They're not civic minded at all. It's all about what can they do for their friends and family? What can they get away with? That's why John Ilario was the master. Wherever that line was, he was up against the ceiling. His head was jammed into his shoulders. He was right up against it and often would cross it and get busted. Like when he had the BMW, the Saints tickets, the LSU tickets, and then, got a Kia and got rid of the tickets. But campaign money going to personal use, it's endless. How John Ilario didn't get popped for the exact same thing Walter Reed got popped for, I'll never understand. Jack Stevens, the sheriff in St. Bernard. I mean, who do these people know where they skate free with, the deviant behavior?
The other one was Morial. I don't know how Morial never gotten popped either.
I think the feds told Mark Morial, get out of New Orleans, don't influence any more elections. Your brother Jacques, same thing, just disappear, don't want to hear from you anymore, and we won't come after you. Because the Morial administration, you can like Mark or not, the most corrupt mayoral administration in the history of the city. It's not even close. His own uncle, Sybil just died, his mother. Sybil's brother, Haydel, he went to jail. I mean, it's like easier to count who did not go to jail under the Morial administration. No, I honestly believe it. I think this has happened with other politicians. It's, get out of Dodge and don't influence, and we'll let you skate. And have you heard from Mark Morial in 20 plus years? He's MIA.
No, you're right. Well, Corey, I really was calling about the Saints because we're in bad straits with the Saints.
The Saints have lost 5 in a row. They seem to have, as many injuries as any Saints team in the history of this organization. You have 2 starting offensive linemen out of 5. You have 3 backups. Wide receivers are out. Your starting quarterback is out. No, if the Saints go 500 the rest of the way, they're 7-10. If they go 7-3, in the final 10 games. They're 9-8. They barely get above 500. And does that get them in the playoffs? I don't know. I doubt it. So no, I think the Pelicans are going to benefit on Wednesday. There are going to be a lot of Saints fans that are going to jump over to the Pels.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right, Corey. Well, always good talking, good government with you, man. It's I feel like sometimes I'm tinkling in the wind over here. We're just trying to get common sense. Not over here, just in this area, but
just be upwind. That's all.
You're right. Have a good one, brother.
Yeah, you're right, Andrew. No, I can relate to the tinkling in the wind thing. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm just beating my head against the cinder block wall, but I'm going to keep going at it. Hey, 15 days, 2 weeks from tomorrow, Election Day 2024. In 3 days, on Thursday, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan, right-leaning Quinn Hillier, a staunch Republican since he was like 12, literally. Left-leaning Ellis Hennigan, a liberal his entire life. Two very intelligent, smart, well-spoken individuals that are diametrically opposed ideology-wise. They'll join us on Thursday in the 4 o'clock hour to break down Election Day 2024. 2 weeks from tomorrow, the country will elect a new president of the United States who will take office in January. Election Day 2024, 2 weeks from mañana. Hey, speaking of a countdown, 111 days until the Super Bowl. 111 days. Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now in Mid-City? The quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. It's Monday. Got the whole week in front of you. Good day to kind of go to Katie's and decompress, get over the Monday blues. You got the whole work week in front of you. Get to Katie's. A taste of New Orleans. Old school New Orleans specialties. A Mid-City mainstay. They're on Iberville, corner Telemachus, Katie's in Mid-Cities. That's like as New Orleans as it gets. Katie's in Mid-City. Yeah, Brett Martell's going to join us in a few minutes. Andrew and Slidell was talking about the Saints. Brett will fill us in on the Saints. Yeah, LSU's 6-1. They got a big one at Texas A&M. Aggies are 6-1. Those teams sit atop the SEC right now. Undefeated. Not Georgia, not Texas, not Alabama. They've all been number one this year. No, it's LSU, number 8. 6-1 overall, 3-0 in SEC play. At 14th ranked Texas A&M, the Aggies are 6-1, 4-0 in SEC play. That's a 6:30 tip-off Saturday night. Saturday morning, 5-2 Tulane, 5-2 North Texas. The Waves on the road, and the Saints at the Chargers. Wednesday, the regular season opener, Chicago Bulls at the Smoothie King Center. Game number 1 of 82 for your New Orleans Pelicans. And this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, Taylor Swift, about 10 hours of music. Each show is 3-hour plus set. 3 hours plus. 60,000 each show. Pretty amazing. Hey, speaking of, I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Largest concert crowd in Caesars Superdome history. 766-9480. It was once the largest indoor concert in the world for about 20 years. Largest amount of tickets sold for one artist or one band in Caesars Superdome history. Largest amount of tickets sold for one artist or one band in Caesars Superdome history. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines. 766-9480. And we got an answer, I think, was that Jerome in New Orleans, or was David in Marrero? It was Jerome, but the Municipal Auditorium is the original land-based casino. It was. That was the temporary Harrah's while they tore down the Rivergate and built the present building, which has been totally redone, plus another hotel added. Harrah's must have $1.5 billion invested at the foot of Canal Street, the foot of Poydras, with the casino, with Fulton Street, with 2 major hotels now. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. Hey, all Smoothie Kings are not alike. They're franchises. They all have different hours, different employees. I go to two Smoothie Kings, primarily one, the one across from Oshner on Jefferson Highway, and also the old Metairie Smoothie King, airline at LaBar, right by the Rouse's, airline by Causeway. Now, if you go into Jay and his dad's Smoothie King, there's always two employees, sometimes three. There's a sense of urgency. They're not doping around. They're taking care of you. Customer literally is king at Jay and his dad's two Smoothie King locations. No, experience the best. Always making them right. Always doing it the way they're supposed to do it. I've gone to a bunch of Smoothie Kings. I'll be watching them make and go, and it's supposed to be 2 scoops of that? Oh, yeah. Why do you put 2 scoops of strawberries? It's supposed to be only 1. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Not all Smoothie Kings are the same. Far from it. Experience the best. Jay and his dad have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. Jefferson Highway across from Oshner and the old Metairie Smoothie King, airline at LaBar by Causeway.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you. The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And
You'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. Get Audubon Gutters.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District. Like Dreamers do, the Radiators from the late 80s. Wow. That's crazy. It's like almost 40 years ago. Corey Johnson back at you on a gorgeous Monday afternoon in New Orleans. Rinse and repeat. We got about a 2-week streak of this great weather going down, and we got another week to 10 days at least. One of the nicest Octobers I can remember. Wake up, low 60s, and then the high temps right around now, 78, 79 degrees, low humidity, just gorgeous weather. Get outside and enjoy it. 15 days, 2 weeks from tomorrow, Election Day 2024. 111 days till the Super Bowl right here in New Orleans. On November 1st, All Saints Day, 100 days out from the Super Bowl. It is a gorgeous Monday afternoon, a little after 5:30. That means a Martell Monday. Brett Martell joins us, nearly 30 years with the Associated Press. How you doing, Brett?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well, man. This weather's tough to beat. Kind of puts you in a good mood.
Yeah. It's great golfing weather, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Too bad my game doesn't match the weather. What an aggravating sport that game can be. It is definitely a love-hate relationship. It's like fans with the Saints, Brett. Love-hate. That 2-0 start, the talk of the entire country, the Saints, put 91 points on the board in 2 games, just dominating their first 2 opponents. Carolina was like, are you supposed to do that to them? But still, could have been 28-21, ripping them like they did. That's what you're supposed to do if you're a good team. Then they go into Dallas and just dismantle the Cowboys. Since then, they've lost 5 in a row. Has the team changed, Brett, itself, or is it strictly just an insane amount of injuries? I mean, you've got, 2 starters on the O-line out of 5. You got wide receivers, plural, down. Lots of injuries on the Saints team, almost as bad as any year that's had a bad injury season.
Yeah, well, look, I think it has mostly to do with injuries. If you go back to, talks you and I had going into the season, I think we kind of agreed that the Saints had some decent players. A lot of them were veterans, and they really had no depth. And so I mean, what I expressed was that the Saints had the potential to be good if they had really good luck with injuries, and if their veterans, like Matthew, Jordan, et cetera, Demario Davis, didn't have that fall off year.
Yep.
They kind of needed everything to go right because their depth was so thin, and because their offensive line was very young and had some unproven players made to gel.
Yeah, no, I remember you saying all that.
Yeah, we talked about this, and that lasted for 2 weeks, and then Eric McCoy, he's their best offensive lineman now in the current line. He's their best lineman physically and in terms of leadership, making the pre-snap blocking calls on the line. Right, he's been there since the Drew Brees era. He's really good at that, and physically he's really a stout, strong good linemen. He's probably the best guy they have.
Yep.
Fuaga will probably surpass him eventually, because he's got a lot of upside, but he's still pretty raw as a rookie. And so they lost him, which I think affected not only the quality of his blocking physically, but the quality of the offensive line's, pre-snap understanding of what they were about to do.
You're picking up a Jet player off their practice squad and starting him at center. I mean, he goes from the Jets practice squad to an NFL team starter at center. So that's never a good thing.
And then, so, an offensive line requires chemistry, especially in this system that Kubiak brought in with the outside zone blocking schemes. Everyone's got to have that decisive first step and kind of get to their spot first, so that the running back can, find the hole. They don't have to be dominant blockers, but they have to get to their spot and get in the way of pursuing defenders, so the running back can make that explosive cut once he gets to that outside zone. And they were, in between that and the play action pass to Derek Carr and the chemistry he had with Rashid Shaheed going deep. And then, in the more intermediate stuff with the Olave, I think they looked great for the first 2 weeks. And then the blocking started to deteriorate, and they were still competitive the next two games. But, they kind of lost, last minute games. And then they played at the Chiefs, right? Who it's hard to win there. And in the process of losing there, they had more injuries. And then they had even more against Tampa Bay. And now they're just, ever since the second half against Tampa Bay, they've just been a shadow of the team they were in the opening 2 weeks of the season. And, when your depth is bad, especially on offense, when the offense can't make a first down, the defense may still have most of their main guys, but if they're on the field the whole game, they get ground down. And that's what happens is you see games get away from even good defenses in the second half if they're just worn out. And all these injuries happened while the Saints were playing 3 games in the span of 11 days, which made it even worse,
Wow, good point.
I just think everything was stacked against them during this last little stretch.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Hey, Brett, in 10.5 months, who's got a better chance of being on this team, Alvin Kamara or Dennis Allen? Both? Neither?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, it's still early. So, I know the fan base's patience is totally running out with Dennis Allen, but I also know that Mickey Loomis believes in him, and that Mickey would tell you a lot of what I said, which is that there are all these external factors that are outside of Dennis's control that have caused the team to nosedive in the last few weeks, and that he believes that Dennis is capable, when things go well, of fielding the teams you saw in weeks 1 and 2, and the team that you saw in 4 out of the last 5 weeks, or just say the last 5 weeks of last season, and fate is conspiring against him. So if the Saints are able to get relatively healthy in the coming weeks and they have a strong finish, then, much to the chagrin, I think, of a lot of Saints fans, I wouldn't be surprised to see Allen stick around, but Kamara with his contract situation may not.
Nope.
So that's a good question that you ask. And I think that as of right now, maybe the chances are pretty good that neither will be back. But we'll see what happens over the course of the next, they still have 10 games to play.
Yeah, they're 2-5. They've got 10 games left, Brett. I mean, if they play 500 ball the rest of the way, they're 7-10. If they somehow,
I don't think that cuts it.
No,
You're
and
right.
if they
7-3 ball.
If they win 7 of the next 10, they go 7-3. They're 9-8. I mean, I don't know if that cuts.
Right. Yeah, and that was what they were last year.
And no playoffs.
Yeah, no playoffs. Now, if they go 9-8 and make the playoffs somehow, you really never know how. With all the parity, sometimes 9-8.
It would have to be that, you would think. But what you said originally, Mickey Loomis believes in Dennis Allen, and maybe he's just like, look, no one could overcome this amount of injuries.
Yeah.
When's Derek Carr expected back?
Well, I think there's a chance, because Carr was listed officially as doubtful at the end of last week, not out. I'm not exactly sure why they did that, but it makes me feel like, Carr is one of the very few players I've ever seen. He did this last year where he didn't practice all week long. and then he played in the game on Sunday. I think there's a chance he'll play this week.
Literally,
unlike
out means 100% chance you're not playing. Doubtful is a 75% chance you're not playing.
Right.
Questionable is 50-50, and probable is 75% chance you will play, right?
Right. And questionable is like 50-50.
But, out is out. So he was, doubtful, which is a 25% chance he would play. So whatever, you got to look at the silver lining. It's an improvement in his health, I guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would expect him to be listed as questionable this week, and we'll see on Sunday. And then, they really, there's a high level of confidence that he's back for that Carolina game the following week.
Right.
So, there's a chance he comes back this week. I don't know if he will, but I think they're pretty desperate for him to come back.
Yep.
Although Rattler is showing some potential, when your best receivers are hurt, I think that's when when veteran savvy can really, really help you as to knowing where to go with the ball. And I think it's a little harder for Rattler when he has a lot of new guys running routes to know where to go with the ball. So. I wouldn't be shocked actually if Carr played this Sunday, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's likely.
Saints have a late kickoff, a little after 3:00 in Los Angeles. The Saints are at the Chargers, who are 3-2, and they play tonight at Arizona. They're on Monday Night Football. Hey, Brett, it's not Georgia, it's not Texas, it's not Alabama. Texas A&M is atop the SEC by a half game over LSU. Aggies are 4-0. LSU's 3-0 in SEC play. Both teams are 6-1 overall, losing their opener and ripping off 6 straight. It's 8th-ranked LSU at 14th-ranked Texas A&M, 6:30 Saturday night. The Ole Miss win was big, and the overtime win, and then going to Arkansas and taking care of a very focused Arkansas team that had a week off to prepare for the LSU game. This A&M LSU game is really going to be a barn burner. This is for the top of the SEC. One team will be undefeated in SEC play after Saturday night.
Yeah, it's amazing. It reminds you how we maybe shouldn't react to, especially in college football where there's no preseason. Maybe we shouldn't overreact to season openers anymore, considering that there's a 12-team playoff. Because, look, if you watched A&M lose by 10 to Notre Dame in College Station, and you saw how LSU kind of fell apart in the second half in Las Vegas against USC.
Well, at least Notre Dame's decent still. They only have one loss. Yeah. USC's like 500.
That's true, but Notre Dame lost at home to a mid-major. So, but yeah, if you saw the opening weekend though of how A&M and LSU play, you'd think, yeah, these teams probably aren't going to do much this year. And you go fast forward, a month and a half later, and whoever wins this weekend is going to have the inside track to win the whole conference. Of course, LSU is going to have another week off and then have to play Alabama. So I would say that LSU really needs to try to win this game. And I think the way LSU took care of business at Arkansas, where they've had some major struggles in the past, and they really put them away. I was impressed by how they closed on Saturday.
Me too.
That was one of the better games, I think, Saturday night that LSU's played all year, considering the level of competition and where the game was played. And that bodes well going to Texas A&M, but Texas A&M is playing well. It's going to be tough. And the home team, I believe, has won every single game in the A&M LSU series since, is it 2017? I have to look back, but I think that's how far the home team winning goes.
A couple of 5-2 teams are going at it. Tulane at North Texas Saturday morning at 11. The Wave kind of controls their destiny. They win the conference. They end up going 10-2. Got an outside shot at the playoffs.
An outside shot. They need help. They need Boise State to stumble in particular. And then we'll see what happens. But They need to be the best out of the the non, what do they call it? There's the Power 4 now. It used to be the Power 5 at the Pac. The non-Power 4.
Yep.
They need some help there to make sure they're the best one out of those teams.
There's Blue Boy. And next Monday, we'll talk about the Pels, Brett, as they open up the season Wednesday at the Smoothie King Center. Always a pleasure, Brett. That's Brett Martell, another Martell Monday. Corey Johnson with you. Enjoy this great weather. See you tomorrow, 4 o'clock, right here.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.